Hello and welcome to Frontrunner Motorsport, and today was the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Well, technically it was yesterday because it's 1 o'clock in the morning, but whatever. I don't have too much to say about this race. It was okay, wasn't amazing, but of course the whole story of the weekend revolves around the debut of Bearman, which if you look at my Formula 2 preview, I did say he would be debuting in Formula 1, possibly with Haas at some point in the future. Well, he's gone and bloody done it now. And what a great race he had. This was a superb drive from him because it was last minute. He only got to do the third practice session and qualifying and the race. And even with that limited running in the 2024 car, he did a fantastic job. He qualified just outside of the top 10. He missed out by 0.04 of a second. That tiny little gap is all that stopped him from being in Q3. And it was Lewis Hamilton who had the 10th best time. So he lost out by 0.04 of a second to a 7-time world champion. Very, very impressive debut. I think Ferrari need to look at it and go, do we actually need to sign Lewis Hamilton? Have we made a mistake? Because clearly they have a great young talent there. And there's others as well that really could step up. In the race, he stayed out of trouble. He made overtakes and in the end finished 7th. Scored points. He beat Lando Norris and Lewis Hamilton. It was an all-round fantastic weekend for Bearman. Very, very proud of him. And I think it says a lot for the talent on offer in Formula 2. And it just makes it even more of a shame that so many drivers get to hang on for so long in Formula 1 when alternatives are available. It would also be nice if we had more teams in Formula 1 so that more of these young drivers could come up and give it a shot. Other than that, there isn't really too much to say about this race. Max Verstappen won yet again. 9 race wins in a row again. It's a pretty incredible record at this point. He's only 26. If he goes as long as Hamilton, he's going to have 14 years yet. So the numbers he could rack up are just insane to think about. Although there is a lot of backstage politics at play at the moment. Toto Wolff said at Saudi Arabia he would love to have Max Verstappen at Mercedes. That could be considered a warning shot or an attempt to poach him. And we'll have to see how that plays out. I wouldn't begrudge him going to Mercedes. I don't think Mercedes will be a midfield team forever. They do seem to be struggling at the moment though. Both Russell and Hamilton weren't amazing at this race. Russell did okay in the end. Hamilton 9th, started 9th, finished 9th. That basically means he's the 9th fastest, right? It was not a good weekend for him. Well, he started 8th and he finished 9th, that's even worse. It's not going well, this final Mercedes campaign, and he wasn't happy that he didn't get to go into the pits for fresh tyres when the safety car came out. And it did kind of mess up his race. I think Lando Norris was sort of a big pain for whatever strategy they were going for as well. It didn't work out in the end. He didn't score many points. Mercedes were outscored by Ferrari when Ferrari had to hand a debut to someone. It's not a good look for Mercedes at the moment. They got outscored by McLaren as well. But it's still not a great weekend for Mercedes, and they are seemingly lacking something right now. And it'll be interesting to see how they develop over the course of this season. It honestly wouldn't be a bad idea to start developing next year's car now, maybe. Just really get to work on it. Because I think there's rules around that now, but I don't think it's a great idea jumping in too early anyway, because you don't want to fall too far behind this season to be embarrassing. And for everything else, wasn't really too many big shocks. Alpine is still rubbish. The midfield is slightly congested. Haas did a really good job at this race. Hulkenberg scored a point. Other than that, everything went pretty much as you would expect it to, which is a bit of a shame, but fine. It wasn't a terrible race. It wasn't a fantastic race. It was okay. Carlos Sainz is a trooper, I do have to say. The fact that he had a stomachache on Thursday, but did practice anyway. They were basically like dosing him up medication to keep him going, which is probably not a great thing to admit. On Friday, he was in too much pain, got rushed to hospital, and it turned out he had appendicitis. He had the surgery, and on Saturday, he was at the track cheering his team on. That is commitment. It's a shame they're replacing him, because that is really commendable. But we've had a lot of cases of appendicitis in motorsport in the last few years. There was a couple of years ago, Alexander Albon had it. That's why Nick de Vries got his debut. Tomoki Najiri in Super Formula. I'm sure there's been others as well. That's pretty much it. Next race is in a couple of weeks in Australia. I am looking forward to that one because I do like the Melbourne track, and I'm looking forward to watching Supercars race as well because they tend to have, I think they have 4 races again this year. They tend to be pretty good. Honestly, if you just watch Formula 1 at Melbourne, shame on you. V8 Supercars tends to be good action on that track. Just a recommendation. Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, just fine. Ollie Bearman, incredible. Max Verstappen, unstoppable. Perez doing a good job to keep finishing second. Piastri did okay. Leclerc did okay. Everyone else pretty much did okay, and as you would expect. And I really don't have that much to say on anything else with this Grand Prix. It was very okay. But great job from Ollie Bearman. Did leave Prima with an empty seat in Formula 2, so there's only 21 cars, but it's probably a good thing to avoid all the chaos. And I will cover that in my weekend roundup coming out Monday or Tuesday. I'll talk about IndyCar tomorrow, which starts with the St. Petersburg race, which I'm also very much looking forward to. Super Formula starts tomorrow at Suzuka, which is going to be amazing, I'm sure. So yeah, watch them, watch my videos, subscribe. Thank you very much for coming out and listening to me ramble about the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix at 1 o'clock in the morning, and have a good one. Be kind to your mothers.
Who's driving? Oh my God, Bear's driving. How can that be?